Благословений Бог наш, завжди нині повсякчас, і на віки вічні.
Святий Боже, святий кріпкий, святий безсмертний, помилуй нас. Святий Боже, святий кріпкий, святий безсмертний, помилуй нас. Святий Боже, святий кріпкий, святий безсмертний, помилуй нас. Слава Отцю і Сину і Святому Духові, і нині, і повсякчас, і на віки віків. Амінь. Вічная пам'ять, вічная пам'ять, вічная пам'ять. Вічная пам'ять, вічная пам'ять, вічная пам'ять. Зі святим упокоєм Христе, вічная
The date of February 24th, like other significant military dates, such as the start of World War II or the launch of Operation Barbarossa, will long remain etched in our collective minds as a date that signaled the start of yet another genocidal war in Europe. Not a day goes by when a mass grave is uncovered or a forced deportation of Ukrainian residents, including children, is reported, or an indiscriminate Russian drone attack is perpetrated against civilian targets. These scenes are reminiscent of Europe in World War II, a war that led to the adoption of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, as the international community vowed never again to allow the atrocities of World War II to reoccur, and the creation of institutions and agreements to protect national borders and sovereignty. I often ask myself, has the world forgotten its history over the last 80 years? What if the world and our international institutions had stood up to Putin sooner, more firmly and resolutely in 2014, or perhaps even in 2008, when Russia attacked and subsequently occupied parts of Georgia? Though there are many perspectives on these questions, one thing is abundantly clear. This year's Remembrance Day has taken on a new real and close to home meaning, in addition to the remembrance of world wars and recent conflicts. Your presence here today, particularly that of our youth, will help ensure that history, both distant and evolving, is never forgotten. Our escorts for the wreath laying are Warrant Officer Adam Vinitsky and Sergeant Retired William Koichuk. Складає вінок від уряду Канади посол парламенту Іван Бейкер і Member of Parliament James Maloney. The wreath of the Government of Canada is laid by Yvonne Baker, Member of Parliament for Etobicoke Centre, and James Maloney. Від українського народу, його уряду і Збройних сил України складають вінок Генеральний консул України в Торонто Олександр Шевченко. The wreath from the Ukrainian people and its government and Ukraine's armed forces are led by Consul General of Ukraine in Toronto, Alexander Shevchenko. Складає вінок від Онтарійського уряду for the Honorable King of Surma, Member of Provincial Parliament, Stacy Koryanev. Складає вінок від міста Торонто, Deputy Mayor Stephen Holiday. The wreath from the City of Toronto, Ward 2, Etobicoke Centre, is laid by Deputy Mayor Stephen Holiday. The wreath from the Toronto Catholic District School Board is laid by Trustee Teresa Lubinsky. Wreath also from the Toronto Catholic School Board by Marcus de Vimenecchio, Ward 4, Etobicoke. Від Збройних сил Канади вінок складають Corporal Mike Kinyanski, Veteran Arvin Khan, and Major Mark Holovate. Від Української селецької громади складають вінок Юрій Сергійчук. The Ukrainian Canadian War Veterans Association of Canada wreath is laid by Юрій Сергійчук. Братство колишніх воїнів першої дивізії Української національної армії, First Division of the UNA Brotherhood of Veterans, Василь і Олена Ахпемійчук. Canadian Association of Crimean Tatars, Rustem Irsay. From the Latvian National Federation in Canada, Ilza Kuplins Ewart. Ukrainian Canadian Congress National is led by its Vice President, Anya Shukter. Від провінції Ради Онтаріо Конгресу Українців Канади Торонто вінок складає заступник голова Богдан Винницький. The Ukrainian Canadian Congress Interior Provincial Council wreath is laid by Vice President Bogdan Vinitzky. Від Конгресу Українців Канади відділ Торонто і Ukrainian громада вінок складає голова Петро Штурин. From the Knights of Columbus, Sheptytsky Council, Maurice Voronovich. Сум, спілка української молоді, відділ Тобако імені Симона Петлюри. Сум, спілка української молоді, відділ Мисисага. Пласт, станиця Торонто. Об'єднання лемків Канади, Роман Колос. like to invite the commander of 32 Canadian Brigade Group, Colonel John McEwen, to the podium to say a few words.
Canada was the first Western country, to recognize Ukraine's independence. Since then, Canada and Ukraine have had a close relationship that includes cooperation on security and defense. We're here today, though, to remember those we have lost in the battle for security and defense. We remember those who have been fighting in Crimea. We remember those who are lost in the eastern regions of Ukraine. We remember the contributions of those soldiers who fought for our freedoms in past wars, but we must also support and honor those who are giving their lives today. Because today soldiers are dying to defend their country and their families. Unfortunately, there will be many additional names to remember this year. In many very real ways, Ukrainians are fighting for much more than their own country. The fight is for security, sovereignty, safety, and even peace. Today in the United Kingdom, as mentioned earlier, Canadian soldiers have been deployed to resume training for Ukrainian soldiers to assist with the Ukrainian war effort. We must remember these men and women who fight for peace that we enjoy here in Canada, just as we remember the men and women in Ukraine who are fighting now for peace. No soldier wants war. No one wants it less than a soldier who must go fight for a war. We must remember them. The purpose of Remembrance Day and memorials such as the one to my left is to remind us of the cost of a war. We will remember them. Thank you.
Дорогі ветерани і воїни, глибоко поклін вам. Ми ніколи не забудемо вашу прислугу і відданість. Dear veterans, thank you for your courage and immeasurable sacrifice. We will never forget your heroism and passion for truth and liberty. May God bless you and your families.
Lord,